The most common way we describe a startup is as a rigid, linear pipeline. You buy materials, you fabricate a physical product, and you sell it to a customer to generate a profit. This model is often guarded by dense business jargon and a specific cultural stereotype of what a founder is supposed to be, creating a landscape that feels intentionally exclusionary. For women in research, this creates a psychological barrier. Despite having years of deep expertise, the corporate world is presented as a foreign planet, where their academic skills supposedly have no currency. This leads to the day one myth, the false expectation that to enter the market, a researcher must abandon her prior identity and begin her journey from scratch. Internalizing this myth is an immediate disadvantage. It encourages you to discard your most powerful intellectual assets at the very moment they are most needed. If you look past the business terminology, the engine of a startup and the engine of a laboratory are actually identical. Both are driven by a refusal to let a question go unanswered. Entrepreneurs and researchers tunnel into specific problems with the exact same tenacity. They dig, pry, and experiment, completely unsatisfied with an unknown result. A decade of academic training is essentially a decade of testing variables and validating data, the exact methodology required to prove that a new idea has market potential. Because you are already trained to navigate the unknown, commercializing a discovery is a shift in the environment where your methodology is applied, rather than a total professional reinvention. To translate research into a market asset, we look at three elements: your existing expertise, your curiosity, and a verifiable market gap. Curiosity pulls the knowledge developed in the lab toward a real-world application. The market gap is the industrial problem requiring your unique solution. This intersection is where commercialization begins, creating value whether or not it takes the form of a physical product. The traditional job creator startup is just one path. Researchers have several other models that bypass the risks of building a solo corporate entity. Licensing allows you to retain intellectual property ownership, converting your research into a passive income stream. Consulting turns your expertise into a global service, delivering specialized insights to outside organizations. Through partnerships, you operate as an outsourced R&D wing, utilizing an established firm's capital while you focus on development. These options allow you to choose a model that fits your current career stage, providing the flexibility to create impact without assuming total financial responsibility. This chart shows the funding landscape for new ventures. Women-led initiatives receive significantly lower capital allocations and face higher levels of scrutiny regarding their baseline credibility. Because of these structural hurdles, entrepreneurship is less about following a set of habits and more about managing the high-pressure space of feelings that comes with building something new. Academic researchers spend years managing the high-stakes pressure of grant cycles and peer review scrutiny. These skills translate directly into the emotional regulation needed to pitch investors or manage a team through a difficult pivot. The resiliency built within the laboratory provides a baseline of stability that corporate environments cannot replicate. In a traditional corporate setting, an obstacle is often seen as a failure. To a researcher, an obstacle is a variable to be analyzed and understood. A business dead end is just a wrong answer discovered. It is a data point that tells you exactly how you need to change your approach. Applying a rigorous, data-driven methodology to a corporate sector often governed by tradition forces the market to adapt to your standards of evidence. By entering commercialization, you aren't just solving a market problem. You are demonstrating that academic methodology is a viable tool for industrial change. The Validate workshop is designed as a low-risk space to test these concepts. It is an opportunity to see how your research functions in a market context without the pressure of business jargon. The subsequent 12-week program helps you identify a specific market fit while connecting you with a peer-driven community of other women in research. Success in this process is defined by discovery. For some, that means launching a new venture. For others, it means gaining a clearer perspective on their academic work. Determining your path is the final data point in your discovery process. The impact lies in the exploration itself.